Obama, I think, relatively uniquely among politicians, has always been pretty good at playing a long game. There aren't a lot of things from the debate that are going to make for good YouTube clips. There aren't a lot of things where Obama positions himself on an issue that won't cause him trouble later. So it could be a case where you have this kind of blow up and then die down pretty fast with the next news cycle. I think Romney probably did himself some good with his favorability ratings, where he came across as being a articulate and likable, relatively speaking, guy for an hour and a half, and the president was kind of dour and moody. So I think you might see a boost in Romney's favorables, which is one problem that he was having. But I'm not sure. I mean, my expectation is that you're going to see the polls move in Romney's direction by somewhere between 1.5 and 3.5 points. If it's outside that range, it wouldn't stun me. But I think it was Romney's best night of the campaign so far, I think, and probably Obama's worst. Find it more enjoyable to write for a public audience. I'm not doing badly financially by any means, but so there are two reasons. One is that I enjoy what I do, and that's really, really valuable. The other is that I know that there are a lot of smart people who have gone into finance and thought they do really well, and totally bombed out. So picking your battles is an important part of this, and I think there are times because people think the news media, I think, overestimates how wise they really are and how much they can really read the pulse of the American public, and so you're pushing back against that, really, and that creates kind of a market opportunity, I think. I think there are times when the narrative can be important, and one of those is in the presidential primaries, where you could almost sense in the primaries when a candidate would go up or down, right? You could kind of say, oh, man, I watched this debate, right, and we're going to see a 7-point shift in the polls toward Romney or Gingrich, and lo and behold, it happened. But you have to remember that people who vote in primaries are high information voters. They also have a lot of candidates they like. Believe it or not, most Democrats in 2008 liked both Hillary and Barack, right? So it wouldn't take that much to sway them in one direction or the other. But in general elections where 90 or 95% of people are locked into their vote from day one, then that stuff doesn't really matter all that much. Although maybe it's predictable to an extent. You've had this thing where, and I think the streak will continue now, you'll have had, assuming Romney does get a boost in the polls, 8 out of 10 times since 1976, the challenger has gained ground in the first debate. And part of that might be because the incumbent president is rusty. Part of it might be that the challenger kind of comes on to the stage and is equal for the first time, right? Part of it might also be that it's kind of now expected, right? This narrative is so kind of pre-written, where the challenger stands on the stage and shows he's an equal and was surprisingly good and beat expectations, right? That it's kind of easy for him to fulfill that, even though kind of on a deeper level, that means actually the expectations are really high from being kind of in the Alanis Morissette irony definition of it. But it seemed like, so I actually missed the first 15 minutes of the debate last night. I was running late, and it seemed like it had already been kind of determined by the Twitter sphere that Obama had lost, right? Regardless of what happened in the last 75 minutes. I don't think he won the last 75 minutes, mind you, but I think even if he had performed a little bit better, that you would still have had this impression that Romney had won, and that would have been hard to overcome. But of course, in politics, where expectations do matter, you always get 20 cents back on the dollar. So now expectations will be lower for Obama in the second debate, and he'll reassert himself, and those things will be overplayed instead.